Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video, we will be discussing the Q2FY25 numbers of two companies, Ratnaveer Precision Engineering Ltd and Signpost India Ltd. Okay, so both of these companies are actually in the SME category. It's like sub 1,000 crore or 1,000 to 1,500 crore ka market cap hai. So we will discuss about that. The first company we'll be doing is Ratnaveer Precision Engineering Ltd. Okay, so first let us understand the business model. So if you look at this company, these people manufacture these value-added products made out of stainless steel. Okay, now steel as an element, when you look at it, right, it is very susceptible to corrosion. So you add components such as iron, chromium, nickel to make a stainless steel, which is also another metal, right? But now what do they do with this? They're not just selling a commodity of it, but they're doing like a value-added product over here, right? Like for example, they're doing the stainless steel tubes and stainless pipes. Okay, and other than that, what they do is stainless steel washers. If you're an engineering student, you would know what a washer is. I think you would have studied in your H1 of your engineering, the first semester or second semester. But if not, it's a component. It's a very circular kind of component that goes around in your nuts and bolts. Very common over there. What you can also do is all these terms that I'm talking about, different products, you can just Google it, okay, and just go to the images section. I am pretty sure probably you people might not know the English, like what is the English name of it, but you might know in your local language what it is called. Even if you do not know the name, you probably would have seen this in your day-to-day lives. It's very common, you will see it. Okay, other than that, they make this stainless steel ka sheet, which is nothing but a very malleable kind of surface. Just a simple plain sheet which has a reflective surface. And the other product of theirs is called the solar hooks. Now what is the solar hook is? You might have seen the solar panels in your houses, right? That slanting thing. So to fix it, let's say to fix it or to make it stationary, it could be the rod or anything, you use a bracket so that it can be attached to something. So that is called as your solar stainless steel hooks, stainless steel solar hooks. Now these are the different kinds of products that they make, like I told you. Okay, now basically manufacturing products only. Now if you look at the revenue segment, almost 80 to 92%, 80 to 90, maximum 90% comes from, as of at least H1, 90% is coming from your domestic side, and the other 10 to 15%, of course the mix keeps changing now and then, right? So 10 to 15% comes from export, but the majority is still coming from domestic side only. And if you have to look at the product side, if you look at it, like I told you, right, the stainless steel sheet, that is the maximum contribution, that contributes around 47 to 50%. Then if you look at the second most is the stainless steel washer, which contributes 23%. Then the stainless steel pipes and tubes, that contributes 17%, and the hooks that I was talking about, the solar hooks, contributes 5%. The rest is the scrap material again, which they sell. But all of this is mainly the business model, and this is what the product is. And if you remember, these people had 4 manufacturing plants. Okay, so this is exactly what makes Ratnaveer Precision Engineering so special. There are 4 manufacturing plants in Gujarat itself. So in unit 1, they manufacture your solar hooks, your washers, right, and your sheets, all these stainless steel washer hooks and sheets. In plant 2 or in unit 2, they manufacture your stainless steel pipes and tube. So only in 2 plants what happens is the actual manufacturing that is there, that takes place. But in unit 3 and unit 4, by the way, this is the most important part of their business, they have backward integration. So what they do is, let's say when they're manufacturing this sheets or steel pipes and steel tubes, there will be some scrap material, right, or wastage material that you call. So they collect this wastage material from unit 1 and unit 2, and they take it to unit 3. And what they do in unit 3 is they melt it back again, and they make it into the small balls. Okay, and after that they take these and they take it to unit 4 to make ingots. Ingots are what you're basically, have you seen this gold bars? You would have seen that in Money Heist now, how they make this gold bars. There the process is ulta. They take the gold bars and they make it into small balls. They melt it into small balls and they send it. Here they collect the scrap material, make it into balls, and then they convert into this huge steel bars. And again, this from unit 4, whatever from the scrap they have reconverted into a steel, they have made it into a steel bars, they send it back again to unit 1 or unit 2, so that in this way even the scrap material that is there becomes efficient and can be used back in the product line. That is why, because of this backward integration, because of this process, is exactly why you see this business has a really high EBITDA margin of 10%, right? Especially, why am I telling high? It's because it's a B2B business, and on top of that, a manufacturing into a commodity business, right? Ultimately your raw material is stainless steel. So as a result, the fact that you have 10%, especially in a B2B for such a small company, literally 1,000 crore ka market cap, it's quite commendable. Okay, now in Q1 FY25, we saw that the result was really great, right? Like they had, I think, sales grew by 70%, PAT literally doubled, and and operating leverage was there, immense operating leverage. So the question was if they would be able to maintain that momentum over here. And you see Q2FY25 result have really been a testament to that. If you look at the sales grew by 50% on a year-on-year basis, that is September of this year versus September of last year. 60%, and the PAT grew by 50% on a year-on-year basis. So quite a good set of numbers, absolutely great set of numbers, right? There is nothing to complain about here. In fact, if you look, like I told you, right, they had 4 plants as of the starting of the year. They had 4 plants, and they were in a plan to add another 5th plant, same in Gujarat only. Unit 5 they were supposed to establish, and for this Unit 5 they raised a QIP of 95 crores because the total capex of this was around 100 to 106 crore, and they had raised 95 crores of this. And in this plant, I suppose they were going to make this circle clips. Yes, circle clips. It is a new product that they wanted to introduce. Now the only question is, like, we do not know what, because see, it's a very small cap company. The disclosure is really not up to the mark, right? I mean, they come out only with the result document and annual report once a year. There is no press release, no investor PPT, no con call. So it becomes really hard to understand, like, as to like, what has been the progress of capex, what has been when let's say this new product that they're going to get, how will the product mix change, right? Is it a high margin product or not? It becomes quite hard. So that is the only problem, I would say, over here with these kind of businesses. We have to continue to track, and the only document that we have is a result document, and based on that we have to take a decision. Other than that, the business is doing quite really well. In fact, I was catching up with some interviews which they do with all these TV channels, and the management looked very confident of achieving this maintaining this revenue growth, 25% kind of CAGR. And they were also talking about the fact that the margins will improve, profitability will improve multifold. But again, we do not know what is the margins that they target, what is the profitability that they're targeting. None of that we know. I mean, there is no guidance metric based on which you can track. The only thing is you have is a current result that are there. I'll just go through the balance sheet once, like, so I think because it's a small cap, right? If you look at the I want to highlight this. In the in FY24, Pura Saal ka FY24, if you look, the PAT was 31 crore, okay? And in HY of this year, HY25, the PAT is 24 crore. I mean, 25 crore, sorry. So 25 crore in this half year, and last full year, they made around 30 to 31 crore. So I think going forward in the coming year, like what he was telling in the what he was telling in the management interview with that TV channel, the fact that profit is going to be multifold, it is a short testament for this. And they were telling the reason why they're saying this kind of growth is because they're targeting this defense sector, this railway space. We are coming up with a lot of bullet trains, Vande Bharat trains, right? This is where they're catering to, or they're planning to cater to. And as a result, that is why you can see them grow continuously at a 25% CAGR, okay? And the other thing, talking about the cash flows also, cash flows is also quite solid, because like I told you, for last year they ended the year with 3.9 crores in their cash flow from operations, and this time it is 3.5 crore in just the half year. Similarly, if you see the net cash flow from, like, if you deduct all your working capital ka changes, even in spite of that also, in FY24 it was 12.3 crore, and here it is 45.1 crore. So overall a great set of numbers over here also. Really good set of numbers. In fact, all the metrics such as receivables, payables, there is absolutely no problem at all. Like, you don't see a huge spike in receivables or payables over here. So overall a good set of numbers. I would say the only probably the risk over here is the fact that fluctuation in raw material prices, that sometimes that we come across, that is an inherent risk. And the second inherent risk, I would say, is probably the fact that, like, lack of disclosure over here. That is the biggest risk, right? Because we do not know, let's say tomorrow if one quarter, let's say the result, let's say the earnings is not there, or we see a volatility in EPS, then we do not know if it is probably just for a quarter, maybe it is seasonality, maybe because they were not able to, maybe there was some logistic issues, they were not able to clock an order. We would see it happening better in Q2. Now we wouldn't know what it is, right? So that is the only problem. The second company, overall great set of numbers. The second company that will be doing is Signpost India Ltd. Now this Signpost India company, if you look at this company, apparently it got merged with this company called as Pressman PR, which is more like a public relationship kind of company. You know, they manage all this, and it got merged with it, and I think it got listed after the merger. After 2 years of merger, it got listed again in BSE. Now over here with this Signpost India Limited, what do they do? Okay, Signpost India Limited, basically they are a company involved in advertising and marketing. But what kind of advertising and marketing that you do? So usually when you talk about advertising and marketing, it can be divided into two categories. One is your indoor and the other one is your outdoor. When you talk about your indoor, we usually talk about newspapers, TV channels, radio, social media. These are the kind of marketings that you see. The outdoor kind of marketings are, have you seen this big billboards that you come across? So this is called as outdoor marketing. Okay, so here Signpost India is involved in this kind of advertising and marketing. If you look at their entire business model, it can be divided into three categories. The first category is the billboard. Basically, you know, you would have seen, right, this huge hoardings of, let's say, any companies. I mean, if you're on a highway, if you're even in the most busiest area, you're going in car and everything, you see this billboard, static billboards that you come across, big hoardings of the company. So that is the first thing. The second is called as transit. Now what is this transit? You might have seen, right, in metros, like on the metro train, you will see some advertisements, right, that basically anything in your metro or your buses or airports. You would have seen in airports, whenever you're collecting your baggage in the baggage area, baggage collection, you will see, right, there will be a big hoarding, like where the baggage goes round and round, in the center you'll find this big hoardings or advertisement over them. That is one more. The third is the innovative solutions. Basically small kiosk may whatever they put, or you would have seen this in the basically the bus booths where you stand and wait for the bus. You will see, right, with lights and all, there will be some hoardings and advertisement, right, chamakta hua, or there will be some animation kind of advertisement where it is a moving thing, right. So all of these three are the major thing. Now if you look at the revenue segment from the FY24 revenue, if you look, because like I told you, no disclosure over here, in FY24 revenue we could see that majority 55 to 60% of the revenue came from transit. Okay, transit ka matlab the advertisement that you do in metro, railways, buses ke upar you put these stickers now, either on the buses or behind the buses. This is where the majority of the revenue came. Second from your billboard, and lastly from your that innovative solution, basically your kiosk and all. Okay, so this is basically more or less what they do. Now how does this business happen over here? Okay, so what I'll give you a very example. There is Signpost, that is one category. Then there is brand. Let us take Sketches for example, and the third is your metro, your government authorities that are there. Okay, now what Signpost does is Signpost goes for a bidding. Let's say if a new metro is coming up, or let's say Bangalore KSRTC is putting up 200 buses over here. Now what these government authorities do is they open up a bidding position where all these companies like Signpost and other companies that are there and can come and bid. Now once they bid, let's say for example now let's take Mumbai Metro ka example. Okay, Mumbai Metro new line is opening, new stations are opening. Signpost will go and bid over there कि like तुम अपना metro मुझे दो, so that all the advertising का जो भी spot है, I will take care of it, I will get the clients and I will do it. So what they do is they go for bidding. Whoever is the lowest bidder over here, they will get the contract, right, and they will have a timeline. Probably they own that metro ka advertising space, for could be for 8 years, 14 years, 20 years. So usually this contract lasts from 5 years to 20 years. Okay, and now what will happen? Signpost will go to different brands. They will tell, like, see, I have this area, I have that area, I have so many hoardings, so many things. If you want to let me know, brands will come, will give them the contract, and these people will put the advertisement over there. As a result, what these people will get paid by brands, and Signpost has to give probably a percentage of a revenue to this metro authorities, buses, airports, so that because they are taking that space to put the advertisement. So this is how the entire business model works. Okay. Now when they were listed almost a year ago, they had given a plan as to they would want to grow by 25% CAGR, and at that time they had acquired a lot of these Bombay ka metro, Bangalore ka metro, all of these advertising spaces they had acquired, or basically they had bidded, they got the bidding over there, and they got the bidding for 14 years. Basically for 14 years they can use Bangalore metro and Mumbai metro and all these different metros and whatever the deals they had, they could use it for a period of 14 years. They they had the lease period signed for it. Okay, I do not know what is the percentage of revenue they have to give for this metro, but I know that for 14 years these people have a deal right now. Okay, but somehow it was very difficult, I would say, over the last few quarters for it to be materialized. I do not know why all these quarters you would have seen the earnings were really not much there, but finally for the first time you will see that the sales growth that is there on a Q2 on versus September of this year versus September of last year. If you see, sales has grown by 60% on a year-on-year basis, and PAT has grown up by, one second, I think I made a mistake. Yeah, sales has grown by 52.9% on a year-on-year basis, and PAT has grown by 60%. If you compare from March to September on a 6 months basis, you see sales has grown by 28% and PAT has grown by 44%. So overall, you can see finally we are seeing that the sales that is there is getting materialized. This is one thing. Okay. Now, other than that, if you see, over here, another thing about the companies, recently these people have also got contract of this Bombay May. They have started, I think, 200 electric buses. Okay, so these people got a contract of that also, basically for a period of time. They have this buses ka contract where they can stick whatever stickers. Basically they can do advertising of anybody left, right and center on those buses. Basically they have that contract. Okay, so totally as of now they probably have around they have 500 professional sales ka team they have, and other than that they have 81 centers. They are present in 81 centers, and they have around 16,250 panels. So this is what their asset is looking like. The amount of advertising boards and all they have. Now again, like I told you, very difficult to know like what will happen, when will happen. As to like, see, I know they have a contract for 14 years with this metros and all, but it also depends, right? They have to get different brands, right? Recently they did something for Skechers also, but they have to get these brands in order to be able to put that advertisement over there, and nobody knows what is the percentage of revenue they have to give over here. So that is there. Now if you look at the cash flows of this company, if you look at Signpost Limited, if you look at the cash flows, one thing over here is it in millions, in lakhs? Okay, last September the cash from operating activities was 21 crores. This time it is 37 crores. So okay, a good increase you can see over here. And even if you look on after minusing everything from your working capital changes, if you see, the cash flow from operating activities has increased from 22 crores of last September versus 27 crores over here. Now a big catch over here is, if you see, the receivables that is there has been increased. Okay, has been increased a lot. Last time it was 41, this time it is 54. I mean, it was positive that time, now it is increased over here, and this is kind of a little bit of a, so whatever profits that you made, it kind makes you want to question, have you even received it? Because could be, again, the reason is, see, all of these people, unka clients are other businesses, right? They are doing advertisement for all these FMCG companies, jewelry companies, different kind of companies that they do advertising for. They're dealing with another business. So probably whatever they do, they're dealing, it is probably the marketing and advertising spends that are there given by this company. It happens through a contract of 3 months or 6 months. That is why the payment probably is delayed over here. Probably they have a period through which the payment is made, God knows. But over here, one thing to note down is the receivables has increased massively, due to which you will see a little bit in terms of, a little bit crunch over here in terms of cash generated from operations. But I also think because it's a very small cap company, this happens, usually the payment gets stuck in working capital, but it is one thing to keep on track next time. Other than that, if you look, this company ka owner that is there, he has told ki like, as of now, as of H1 of this year, they had 1.5x more brand deals compared to last time, and going forward in this H2, they're seeing 2 times more the brand deals than what they saw last year. So probably, who knows, the H2 is going to be even more dhamakedar compared to what this H1 was. We do not know, but looking by his statement, that is what it seems like. But hopefully, whatever the statement that we see, I hope we don't extrapolate it more than what it is, and we finally see everything that the management tells. It will get materialized into revenues and profitability going forward, right? Like I told you, the only problem over here is the lack of disclosure. I think when you talk about SMEs, right, the problem is not it is risky XYZ. The biggest risk over here is the lack of disclosure, because whenever the other companies are coming, right, they're doing con call. So let's say you all know PGL came and gave the guidance, and let's say the guidance is not achieved, there is an accountability held over here by the analyst community, right? You can go ask them, question them, and they can't lie because you're coming and disclosing something something on a public domain, you are liable, right? But let's say when you're doing on a SME, let's say you're talking to a promoter and doing, how many times can you talk to a promoter? Tell me, like once you can talk, right? But how many times can you keep following up with him? And let's say if you don't follow up, I mean, let's say you let's say he doesn't deliver you on the guidance, I mean, there is nothing for you to be held accountable for, right? Because it's everything is happening under the desk, it's not on a public platform at the end of the day. And I think that is the most risky over here. Over here is that is it. Now both the companies, if you talk about Ratnaveer Precision Engineering as well as if you talk about Signpost India Ltd. See, Ratnaveer Precision Engineering in H1 of this year they did 25 crores, FY24 they did 30 crores. And for these companies such as Ratnaveer Precision Engineering, H2 is better than H1, right? Manufacturing companies and all. So let's say let's say we don't see a significant increase in profit, at least they should be able to do what they did in H1. So 25 plus 25 is 50 crore, right? So let's say market cap is 1070. So 1070 divided by 50 is around 21.4p, right? Now again, this is provided that these people do that level of PAT. So it comes up to like for a 50% growth engine, you're paying 21.4p. Now similarly with Signpost India, if you see in this H1 they have done 11 plus 16 crore. Okay, 16 plus 10 is how much? 27 crores they have done. Even for these people, right? Like because Q3 is a big season, right? We see a lot of festivities. So of course, all of these brands that are there, they will spend more on advertising, right? In Q3 compared to any other quarters. So let's say even for these, one thing that I can see a trend among the Signpost India Limited also, that Q3 and Q4 are much better quarters, or H2 is a much better quarter than let's say H1, right? So let's say over here also 11 plus 16 is how much? 27 crores they have 27 crores they have done. Let's say H2 also they will do 27 crores. So 27 plus 27, right? 27 plus 27 is roughly around 54 crore, and Signpost India ka market cap is 1394. So 1394 divided by 54 is around 25. So both of the businesses are in the range of 21 to 25 ka for 1 year forward P, and hopefully, I mean, all of it makes sense only if they continue to deliver at this 40%, 50% ka growth rate that we are seeing. Then of course this valuation becomes fruitful, and of course provided that they continue to do well in terms of both sales and profitability. We have to continue to track both the business and see how it goes. I mean, that is all we can do, because I think one major problem, or one major, at least for me, I can speak for myself, a major I wouldn't say trust issue, but scary part is like the fact one quarter you will see probably like, oh, mind-blowing kind of revenue, and you wouldn't know like next quarter kya hoga. Will it be able to deliver on that same set of numbers, or will it go full typhus? Okay, once a quarter 100%, next quarter jao to sirf 10% kind of growth. I think that is the only kind of fear I have with these companies. But overall, the only thing that we can do is track here and see if things are going right or not. That is the only thing that is there in our control, right? That's all we can do. So that's it about two companies, Signpost India Limited and Ratnaveer Precision Engineering Limited. See you again tomorrow. Bye.